We're live.
All right, so the format for this, each candidate will be given 3 to 5 minutes to speak on behalf of their candidacy, and then we'll switch over to questions if there are any, and then I will call up the next candidate. Yeah, oh yeah. When you're speaking, I will have a timer for about halfway and then for 30 seconds. So I'll do one tap for halfway and then two for 30 seconds, just in case some of you would like to talk for a long time. All right, our first candidate is Aiden Gomez running for SGA president.
Thank you. Before I start, I want to say excuse me for any coughing or sniffling that may occur as I am still recovering from a very slight cold. I want to thank the sale department and the SGA exec board for putting together this event so you, the students, have an opportunity to meet us and hear us talk about what we're fighting for. This campaign of mine started when dear friends approached me and told me, Aiden, make a change. Continue your leadership. When I announced my campaign on April 3rd, there was only one focus on my mind, our community. A community that I've grown to love and work for throughout my 2 semesters, and a community that I believe can be even bigger and brighter. Being a first year, I believe I bring a fresh perspective that's not beholden to established policies of past leaders that came before me. I want to move forward, and I want to do that by engaging, empowering, and elevating the student body. I've witnessed unique challenges facing our university, and the biggest one is student engagement. Our university has a problem right now where I truly believe students aren't engaged and often leave our campus on weekends. I plan on working closely with Westfield on Weekends and the Westfield Cultural District to make downtown Westfield a hub for owls and an engaging place to spend nights, weekends, and even days. I want to work with our future VP of Belonging to help support our affinity groups. And I'd like to announce a project I hope to work with the BIL office on, which is a representation of international flags around the globe on the green. This is an idea I developed after sitting in on the Know Your Rights event and hearing students talk about wanting to see more visual representation on campus. The student government is an organization to be loud and proud on campus, and if elected, I hope to host regular tabling and events that work to enrich your college experience. I'm excited for SGA to start working with Dr. Hearn on the new branding and marketing initiative to build a strong, bold image for Westfield State. If anyone follows my Instagram account, you've likely seen personal videos that I've released to connect with each and every one of you. That will continue on a weekly basis if I sit in the office of SGA president next year. Throughout next year, I want to work closely with the new exec board to advocate for your needs, and that includes concerns around the residential halls, dining, public safety, funding, changes at the state and federal level, changes in curriculum and staff, and overall campus climate. I have a bold, clear vision for this university, and I will not stop to make sure that these changes happen. If I serve in this capacity, tell me what's not working. Tell me what you want to see, and I will work until we build a community that you can be proud of. I'm not in this for the resume builder. I'm not in this for the connections. I'm in this to continue building Westfield's legacy as an amazing university that continues to draw in incredible owls from near and far. Thank you.
Right, are there any questions for Aiden?
Please, someone ask me a question about anything. Yes, Kiki.
Do you feel like you have the support on the campus to go through with the plans next school year?
Oh yeah, I've been having meetings with Jenica to go over my specific plan about having that visual representation on the green that includes the flags that are around the globe. And I think as a first year, I've been pretty blessed to have a whole lot of mentors and a whole lot of staff supporting me and keeping me up. And I really experienced that through my role on CAB. I've done a lot already to really work on student engagement, but there's a piece that's really missing. And I don't exactly know what that is. I'm really trying to workshop my way through it. And as we finish out the year and we finish spring weekend, I really want to connect with students about what they want to see on this campus. And that's honestly my biggest goal, because if students aren't engaged and if students aren't participating, and it's not just programming, it's CAB, it's SGA, it's clubs, it's other organizations, there's been a decrease, and it's concerning to me because I just see low amounts of turnout across the entire sector of this university, and it's something that I really think needs to be improved on for next year.
Another question.
Yes, of course.
What makes you think that you're different from being able to bring up the student engagement? Like, I could say the same thing, like,
Yeah.
I want to what makes you different from other candidates? I don't know who else is running, but I just want to know what makes you different, meaning that you can like make student engagement go up. I know it's a hard question, but
No, that is a really good question. That's really fair. And I honestly just think my fresh perspective. I've only been here for not even a whole entire year yet. And hopefully I'm entrusted to fill such a large responsibility next year. But it's just that perspective. Every single room I walk in, whether it's class council, SGA, CAB, the Office of Academic Advising, I bring that perspective. I bring new ideas. I bring fresh ideas. It's just my involvement on campus. I'm involved in every single sector. I'm here and I'm there. I hear perspective from a bunch of students, and I just think that really sets me apart, I guess. But that is a really loaded question, and it's very hard to answer, so I hope I answered it. And if not, I can definitely clarify anything for you. Thank you. Brenna?
Do you have any ideas for next year how to continue educating students with service and
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of volunteering opportunities. Definitely a lot of volunteering opportunities, and I want to build a lot of civil service opportunities as well. One of the things that I was talking to Matt about was having a DC trip next year for student leaders on campus so that we can take a trip to Washington, DC and just witness government in action, witness the beating heart of our country, and witness what it means to do something for community. So that's one of the things I'm really hoping to do. I really want to do more soup kitchen volunteer opportunities, definitely some homeless shelters, definitely for opportunities. Next year is midterms, and I really want to have a big voter registration push on this campus because you guys will be determining leaders for many, many years to come. And I really want to see a big effort on campus to get students to register to vote because it's important.
Are there any others? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Zara Ribbit for Vice President of Student Life.
Hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Zara Rivet. I have been a rep at large for the past academic year, and that experience has really shown me how important student voices are on this campus. Through SGA, I have had the chance to listen to different perspectives and see what students actually want and need and care about. If you had told me my freshman year that I would be a part of SGA, I would have laughed and said, no way. But being here now has pushed me outside my comfort zone and has helped me find my place, and that's exactly why I'm running. I want to be an advocate for the person who feels like they don't have a place here or that they don't have anyone to lean on. As Vice President of Student Life, I want to focus on creating more inclusive events, fun events, making it easier for students to get involved, and making sure everyone feels seen and heard on this campus. I want everyone to know that they belong here and have a place at Westfield State, even if it takes you a hot minute to find it like it did me. An important lesson I have learned this year is that as a student representative, you can't expect the students to come to you, but rather you have to come to them and meet them where they are at. Visibility matters, and I will be someone who will always show up and show out for the students at campus events and everywhere and anywhere that you, the students, are. In order to best represent you, your needs, and hear what you have to say about the place that you call home, our Westfield State. Thank you.
Any questions for Zara?
Hey Zara,
Oh, hi, sorry.
I just question, what kind of experience have you done to prepare yourself that makes you feel qualified for the position you're on?
So before I had even joined SGA, I was a part of Outball committee, and I, sat in on some meetings before I was even here, and it made me feel like, hey, I can do this, and makes me, got me out of my comfort zone and know what it's like to, fight for people, because I know what it's like to not have, people there to fight for me, and so I think that's a big piece of why I want to do this as well.
Are there any specific policies or anything you'd like to work on as far as student?
I am still thinking about that. And over the summer, I'm going to really, sit down and write out some things that I want to work on next year. I think, I want to be someone that's approachable and who is able to answer questions and want to be a bubbly face on campus that people have no problem coming up to and voicing concerns. Because sometimes, people can be, kind of hard and standoffish. And so I want people to feel like they can come to me with any concerns that they have.
Any further? A bit of a question. I will give some kind of advice to this question here.
Sure.
As much as the title seems student facing, it is totally faculty and staff.
Yes.
A lot of the meetings I sometimes have 4 or 5 meetings a week. Right?
Yes.
Compared to cope with that kind of stress, or sometimes even I have more meetings than just
Yes.
in a week. And you're prepared to cope with that, and what kind of things will you do to make sure you're on top of this?
Yeah, I think I'm completely ready for that. I have, been super busy these past couple years, and I'm able to make time where it counts. And I think that I have the tools and, people around me to help me get that done as well.
Any further? Seeing none, thank you, Zara.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Theodore Lucier, our candidate for Vice President of Finance.
Hello, everyone. Hope we're having a warm day. Now, my name is Theodore Lucier, and I'm a junior at Westfield State, and I'm interested in getting elected for the SGA VP of Finance role for next year. I think that for money, that's one of the most complicated things that there is. And even when dealing with something like SGA, it can be really hard to work with other people around it. And that's why communication is the most important part of this role, even when dealing with something which people feel is even more important, like money. And I think I'll be able to do really well at communicating with other people. I'm very active on campus. I participate in multiple clubs, and having just spent this last semester working with just the few committees that I've been on, like rules and regulations and finance, I've already been able to see how the system works, and I'm looking forward to being able to continue it. I think of the VP of Finance role as kind of a middleman. I don't really set a lot of events, but I'm there to fund it and make sure that it follows our rules and guidelines. And once again, that's why communication is so important. In the past, I've already had to work with clubs to modify a proposal for an event. And it's those kind of things where you need to be able to find a middle ground that make this role so important. I've also taken part in working with some bigger projects. As you all may know, our college is looking to build a investment lab on campus and to expand the finance department itself. It's projects like these which I'm really able to help with and show my commitment to the college. I think that a lot of college kids don't have a lot of free time and it can stress them out a little bit. But as someone who's very familiar with the college stress and who works 2 jobs and has some busy classes that require a lot of coursework, I think I'm able to use that knowledge of how to manage that stress to be able to utilize my skills in this role super well. Thank you.
Any questions for Teddy?
Hi, Daddy.
Hi.
What's up? I wanted to ask, that you've done a great job. Spencer's just being thrown into the deep end, mid-year. I just wanted to ask, I know what struggle we had last semester was that clubs just sort of weren't really aware of, proper, how to get the money and then there was just a lack of communication. So I guess, I see a lot of club leaders in the room even. How will you sort of, next year in your role, if elected, go about, encouraging, clubs, if club leaders, if they're not, if the funds are still sitting there by December, how will you sort of encourage them to take advantage of the funds that are still available? Or sort of send out emails, publicize it, how do you think you can do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think once again it all leads back to communication. Some of my fellow execs work very closely with a lot more students than I, and I think by working with them, I would be able to spread the word that we have money available. Like our social media, it would be a great tool to be able to do that for. We of course can also send an email out. But I think even more than that, just knowing people on campus, like I said, as someone who goes to clubs a lot, I've been able to already talk to the presidents of those clubs, like accounting and finance or history or philosophy and chess, like all those things. Like there will be events that they'd be interested in and they might not even know about these funds. And I think that's why as exec members, it's important for us to be a part of all of those other parts of campus like clubs so we can spread the word ourselves. Like the best way to get communication, like a line of communication, is to do it face to face. And I think just going around campus or even putting up flyers saying that, hey, we have money available and we are trying to increase activity on campus, those are all great ways which we can do that.
Any further? Seeing none, thank you, Teddy.
All right, thank you.
Our next speaker is Coldo Santos, who is our candidate for Vice President of Student Belonging.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Cole, and I'm running for VP of Student Belonging. So, in the past year, I served as representative of first generation students, and it was a wonderful position. I had some great experiences, but I also learned that I want to expand and reach more communities. And that is where I kind of found belonging and where I think that I will succeed in. Because for me, increasing belonging and engagement on campus isn't just about adding more events or putting up more posters. It's about whether people actually feel comfortable showing up in the first place. I think sometimes we tend to latch on to how things look on the surface, like attendance numbers or how active a club or a group seem. And those are important, yes, but they aren't the full picture. Because you can have the best event ever, but if someone walks in and doesn't feel welcome, then they're not coming back. And you can table a statistically successful event during tours, but you then have a first year student who feels isolated in a room full of people. So for me, the freedom to exist without any strings attached is where belonging really starts. And I want to be the kind of leader who pays attention to those smaller, quieter things, how people are welcomed, how people feel heard, and who maybe isn't being reached yet. And I want to support that through actions like working more closely with affinity group leaders so they have the structure and the support they need to build spaces that actually last. Actions like creating a more more one-on-one opportunities because not everyone feels comfortable speaking in large meetings, and those perspectives still deserve to be heard too. I don't think belonging is always loud or flashy because alienation is so often silent. And while representation is important, it can sometimes become more about like the appearance and not necessarily the experience someone is having. And putting diversity on display doesn't automatically create safe spaces if students don't feel supported once they're actually there. So a lot of the things happen behind the scenes, and that's where the belonging position comes in. It's in conversations, it's in listening, it's in following up, it's in being approachable, and sometimes it's just in being a little bit more persistent when something needs to change. At the end of the day, I don't just want students to attend things. I want them to feel like they actually are wanted and valued here. Because when people feel like they belong, they don't have to be convinced or bribed to show up. They already know they have a place. And that's what I want to do in belonging. So yeah, thank you.
Not a question, great speech, you just touched on all of the.
Thank you.
Let's see, Carly Beeman-Durford, running for Vice President of Outreach.
I'm going to bump this up. Hello, everyone. My name is Carly Beeman-Durford. Currently, I serve as the parliamentarian for SGA. However, I'm running for the Vice President of Outreach for the 2026 to 2027 school year. I tend to be a pretty chatty person, but in case you don't know me already, I wanted to start with an introduction. As I've already said, I'm Carly. I'm a freshman here at Westfield State, and I study communications with a concentration in public relations. Alongside that, I'm a lead scholar and an honors student. I'm from a town called Auburn, which is in Central Mass, about an hour from here. When I came to Westfield State, SGA was really the place where I found my footing. I got involved with the academics team and worked under Melissa, who's our vice president of academics. Through the events that we put on together, I met more SGA members, and I started to really feel connected in this atmosphere. Okay, so I was on academics, and now I'm the parliamentarian, so where do we get to the vice president of outreach? I truly believe that in order to benefit SGA to the fullest, a position which concentrates on coordinating, marketing, and planning is the one that suits me the best. As someone who studies public relations, I remain concentrated on the audience. I understand that if I am selected for this role, I will need to coordinate for the turkey drive, organize for Owl Ball, and work on connecting with the campus through the school year. I believe that my ability to analyze the target audience for each of these tasks will help me to achieve them in a way that resonates with the community. Organization is crucial to this role, and I believe this is one aspect which makes me fit for the job. I'm a strong communicator, which will allow me to work towards an increasing sense of belonging and engagement on campus. This is because I'm going to work to make events and initiatives accessible, so we can have a wider population of students present, all who feel more empowered and comfortable to take part in our community. Thank you.
Are there any questions for Carly? Luke?
Hey Carly.
Hi, Luke.
Within your roles, within academics and then obviously parliamentarian, what have you learned from those roles and how are you going to use what you've learned in your hopefully new role as VP of outreach?
Thank you, Luke. Great question. So when I was working with Melissa under academics, I was able to help host a variety of events where I saw the community come together. This allowed me to analyze what brings us together, what does the community like to see, what's going to get you in through the door, and then how do I keep you in the door? And not in a weird way, but how do I keep you here? How do I make you feel comfortable? As parliamentarian, I stepped into that leadership role and I started running committees like Rules and Regs, which I know you're also on. And that's when I got to see the organizational side, which I think is really highlighted in the Vice President of Outreach category. So learning how to keep organized, or learning how to stay in a time frame where I can always be sending out emails to who needs them, making sure everybody has what they need, has taught me that kind of organizational leadership, which I think is required for my new role.
Thank you.
Yep.
Are there any further? Seeing none.
Thank you.
Right, our final candidate for executive position is Alyssa Hannafin. Item to the executive.
Sorry, I'm touching things by accident. Okay. Hello. Unlike Carly, I'm not super chatty, so this is probably the most anybody in this room has heard me speak in the past year. I figured I'd introduce myself because, again, I don't talk a lot. Hello, my name is Alyssa Hannafin. I come from Reading, Massachusetts, which is a town that sits just outside of Boston. I'm at Westfield studying nursing with a just recently added minor in psychology. The end of this semester marks a full year now that I've been a senator, sitting as a class of 2029 rep to the Senate. In the upcoming election, I'm running for the executive secretary position. I'm running for this position as I want to be more involved in the inner workings of Westfield, and I want to help make changes that will benefit staff, faculty, and most importantly, the students of Westfield State. If I'm elected, one thing I'd really like to focus on is improving the communication between SGA and the student body. Sometimes people don't always know what's going on or don't feel like their voices are being heard, and I want to help change that by making things more transparent and accessible. I really care about the community we have here, and I want to help make sure the students feel heard and included in any and all decisions that affect them. I feel that I bring a perspective of somebody who listens carefully, is open to different ideas, and tries to represent the entire student body and not only focus on one group. I also think that collaboration is really important. I plan to work closely with other student leaders, clubs, and staff so we can share ideas and plan lots of events together. I believe that when people work as a team, we can make a bigger impact. To me, effective leadership at SGA means that being responsible, approachable, and willing to put in the effort. It's about listening, taking action, and following through on what you promise. Thank you for your time.
Any questions for Alyssa? Seeing none. Thank you, Alyssa. All right, now I will say, I would like to invite any other candidates who would like to speak up to the podium if they would like. If not, you're not being forced to. All right, well. Yes.
Hi everyone, my name is Brenna. I'm running for senior class president. I've loved being in this role for the last 2 years and working with our council. I'm really excited for our senior year. We're starting to think about some events that we definitely want to have, and it's been said a lot over the last few years, but we really want to try to bring some form of senior week back. So we're excited about thinking about that, and also starting off the fall with some events. We really want to make the most of our senior year and have some fun events. Also, we had a very successful blood drive last week. They actually had to turn some people away, so we talked to them and they want to come back next year, like bi-monthly. So it's a really great initiative that we want to keep going next year.
Dr. Kevin
Brenna, with all of the responsibilities that you have, and you still find time to go up to your family dodgeball league activity.
I'll try to sneak it into my schedule.
Right, if there are no other candidates that wish to speak, I just want to thank you all for coming and joining us for our Meet the Candidates forum and for asking some very good questions. mostly I want to thank the three non-SGA students because SGA students were a force of the year. So thank you for coming, everybody. And I hope you all have a fantastic rest of the night. And get out. It's good that we got out early so you can enjoy the nice weather and hopefully hang out on the greenhouse.